You saw the title of the video, the best PC budget build of 2024. Now, some people might say, Buck, this PC build is not good at all. Well, you could be right, you could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think that this build is going to be the best one out of any build that you could probably find under $1,000 that any person could have that would run very well, run good benchmarks at 1080p, 1440p, and overall do amazing. So after further ado, let me tell you about the specs. The first spec I would like to talk about is the CPU. The CPU that I went with is the AMD Ryzen 7 5700X. The 5700X comes with a performance core clock at 3.4 GHz, a performance core boost clock at 4.6 GHz, and a wattage usage of 65 watts. And all this for $162. And I think, in my opinion, that $162 for all these specs of a CPU is absolutely amazing. Now, I feel like I've seen this build so much around, like the Ryzen 7 5700X and so many budget builds of so many famous YouTubers, so many people that I know. It's crazy how so cheap this CPU is for only $161 plus tax, and it's 8 cores and 16 threads. For gaming, that's literally amazing. That's all you need. Obviously, the CPU Ryzen doesn't come with a stock cooler, and stock coolers in 2024 are literal trash. So, in my opinion, I went with the Arctic Freezer 36 CPU cooler. It has a nice black style. It has 2 fans on each side. It has a fan on each side, and it's $37, and it comes with a tube of thermal paste. Now, thermal paste on its own can be anywhere from $5 to $10. So for this CPU cooler to be about $30 for all these components, I can't even describe how great it is. I don't even, if this didn't exist, I don't know if I would even be making this video. I'd have to be choosing a different CPU cooler that would be worse than this. But this is definitely the best CPU cooler under $50 that anyone can buy. Now, as I said before, the CPU is amazing. So with an amazing CPU, you need to use an amazing motherboard. So that's why I went with the Asus Prime B550M A Wi-Fi 2 Micro ATX AM4 motherboard. So the AM4 socket works with the Ryzen 7 5700X, so that it can be compatible with it and it can actually work. So the specs of the motherboard are, it has 128 gigabytes of memory max. It has a chipset AMD B550. Its memory type is DDR4. It has 4 memory slots, and the socket is AM4. Now, there's dual channel memory in the gray slots, and it's very small and compact for a PC case that I will be showing you in a second. But for $105, a B550, anywhere from $100 to $150, actually $100 to $200. This is the lowest end of a B550 that probably performs the best. You're paying bang for your buck, $105 for a really nice B550 motherboard. Now, the memory that I went with is a Team Group T-Force Vulcan Z 32GB kit of two 16GB sticks of DDR4 clocked at 3600 megahertz with a latency of 18. So usually latency is going to be a high number, but you want that number to be as low as possible because that latency will help your game run better if it's as low as possible. And with this, it's at 18, which is actually pretty low. It's actually for RAM, usually they're around 20 or so, or sometimes they're 18, but 18 is actually very good. So the voltage is only 1.35 volts, which is actually very nice because it's $58 or $63 on Amazon, but that's at a very good price for 2 sticks. You could find 1 stick of 16 gigabytes for about $30. Now, that might be enough for some people, but 32 gigabytes is future-proof and it's really great. Now, some people might not agree with me on this, but 2 terabytes, I think, is as much as you need. Now, some people might go with 1 terabyte and say, that's literally enough. You don't need any more. 2 terabytes is pushing it. Or 4 terabytes, you don't need 2 terabytes, you need 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes is literally everything you need. But I think in the middle that it's definitely the best. It can perform everything it needs to. It's great for gaming, video editing, and content creating. And 1 terabyte can't even run like 6 brand new titles that are each like 100 something gigabytes. And you also need space for edits and content, so that will take up a lot of space. So 2 terabytes for $100, I think, is amazing. So obviously, the thing that's going to be performing in this computer is the Gigabyte Gaming overclocked Radeon RX 7600 XT 16 gigabyte graphics card. Now, what do I have to say about this graphics card? Well, the VRAM of 16 gigabytes says it all itself, and it's overclocked. This, under $300, literally, it's under $300. Under $300 for this amazing. Look at all the benefits of this. It has a core clock of 1720 megahertz. Its memory type is GDDR6. 16 gigabytes of VRAM. Chipset is RX 7600 XT. It doesn't have a boost clock. It doesn't have a crossfire. Its frame sync is FreeSync. The length is 281, which is a little big for a micro ATX case that I will be showing you in a little bit. But for the price and the components, it's amazing. It takes 190 watts of power, which is actually pretty good because I know a lot of graphics cards will take up like hundreds of watts, so you'll need to buy such an expensive power supply. But for this graphics card, you won't need to. There is no DVI ports. There's 1 HDMI port, 3 display ports, 2 case expansion slots, 3 total slots, 3 fans on the top of the graphics card, 2 external power, 2 PCI 8 pins, and it's $289. All this for $289 plus tax. Oh my god. The power supply that I chose is the Apevia Prestige 600 watt 80 plus gold certified ATX power supply. Now, for $52, 600 watts is amazing. Like, this build only requires about 300 to 400, but having 600 watts means you have 200 extra watts of power that you can still use if you want to upgrade or if it's just sitting there, because at least your PC won't explode, right? It has 4 SATA connectors, and it's 80 plus gold certified. Now, the 80 plus gold certified doesn't even make that much of a difference, but it's still nice having 80 plus gold certified power supply. Apevia makes really nice power supplies, so I didn't expect much of this power supply to be bad. The last thing I will be talking about for this build is the case, the infamous Sama ARGB Q5 Micro ATX case. This case has 3 RGB fans already pre-installed, which makes everything so much easier. There's 1 fan on the top left part of the case, and 2 fans on the top and right bottom of the case. So I think having these RGB fans pre-installed makes everything so much easier, and the black sleek design with the 3 RGB fans makes the case look so nice. Even if you put some random thing in here, it'll still look so nice with this case. And better yet, this case is only $60. This case is $60. Can you believe that? $60 for this amazing of a case. That sums up the whole build, and the total amount of the bill comes out to $862 plus tax. So we're looking about a $900 to $950 build, which is under our $1,000 price point, which I was going to make. But since we made it a little under $1,000, it still gives everyone a great budget to work for and to create. Now, you will need a Phillips 1 and a Phillips 2 head screwdriver to screw stuff in, and make sure that you have a little bucket to hold the screws in the box. Make sure you take everything out of every box so you make sure that you have everything that you know that you have to work with, and your PC will run smoothly. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you like this video, subscribe, comment your favorite part of the video and anything I need to change or anything that was like very bad. turn on the bell so you never miss another video. This is the first video on the Buck PC channel, and I'm hoping to make more in the future for you guys, as I really appreciate all the support I will get. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day. Peace.